Hi guys, this is Tracy, and for today's project we're going to be making some photo ornaments. So the supplies that I'm using today, I'm using my Cricut Explore Air 2. I have a light grip mat. These are the glues that I'm going to be using. I like the Barely Art Precision Glue because it has a little precision tip here that makes it really easy to put the glue on. But I also like the Beacon 3-in-1. I kind of rotate between the two. It just depends on which part of the project that I'm doing. I've got my brayer, my weeding tools, my photo that I'm using for my ornament. Different colors of cardstock. I have some painter's tape in case my cardstock doesn't stick real well. I'll use that to help it tape it down. And then I just have some baker's twine for my hangers for my ornament, or you can use this little wire one here. I am using some foam squares for my ornament. These squares right here, I don't know if you can see how thin they are. So on part of the project that I did earlier, I did some test ornaments. I went ahead and doubled them. So if your ornaments or if your squares are thicker, you may not have to double them, but I am going to in this project. So just so you're aware, I'm going to be putting two on top of each other. But I think that's it. So let's go ahead and jump into Design Space. And I'm also going to show you a trick on how to cut your picture so that it's the correct size for your project. All right, let's jump into Design Space. All right, so here we are inside a Cricut Design Space, and this is how your ornament's going to look when it lands on your canvas. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and right-click and ungroup this. Excuse me. And you'll see on your Layers panel over here, this is everything that's included with your SVG file. You can obviously do whichever colors that you like. I did do a couple of practice rounds. I like to make sure that my file's cut correctly, and then also I like to test my colors. I think that's probably the hardest part of paper crafting, is picking out the colors that you want. So what I did for a couple of my other ones, I liked the combination of having light on top going down to dark, but like I said, you can do it however you like. But for this one, I'm going to do my back layer. I'm going to do it a silver glitter color. So I'm going to change that. And I'm also going to change this top part, the little topper, I'm going to change that the same color because those two are going to cut out of the same color. This part right here, I'm going to make red. This I'm going to leave a dark green, but I'm also going to change my ring to match that color. And then my top piece right here, I'm going to cut out of a very light white glitter cardstock. I think it's called White Glove. Of course, I'll leave the links for all the cardstocks that I use. But this is what I'm going to cut mine out of. And then just depending on the texture or the thickness of your cardstock, that's how you're going to pick your cut settings. Now, if you are new to cutting cardstock, I have said this in previous videos, it's always best to do a test cut. But if you have something that's more intricate, you definitely want to test your cardstock cut first. Using a better cardstock, better quality cardstock is going to get you better results, especially with the intricate cuts. This little thing right here, this is going to be the size of our picture that's going to be inside. So this is going to go actually right here, and then this one's going to go on top of it. But this, as a crafter, I am always looking for tips from other bloggers, from other videos that I watch, other tutorials. I found a tip on how to cut this picture. Now, if you are somebody who likes to do print and cut, you can absolutely do that. And let me show you how you can do that here. Let me bring in a picture. This is my grandson here. Now, this is one way you can do this. I'm going to go ahead and just make this smaller just for right now. And I'm going to bring it, this is 2 by 2 by 2 by 2. So I'm going to bring in a shape. I'm just going to go ahead and bring in my circle and change that to 2 by 2. Okay, and then I want to come over here and let's see, get rid of that there. I'm going to change this to a guide so that I can see through this. Okay, and then I'm going to put this right on top of this little face here, and I want to shrink this down. So this is one way that you can cut your ornament. So then what you would do, or your picture I should say, bring this closer here. I'm going to click on the guide, hit my shift button, and click on my picture. And then I'm going to slice this. Okay, so now I can delete that, and I can delete that guide. And now I have a picture that's just the perfect size. So you can use this with the print and cut. Go ahead and print it out from your printer. If you are familiar with doing print and cut, you could use glossy paper, you can use cardstock, whichever it is that you like. But I am going to do a different style. I saw on a video from Dreaming Tree actually, which is, if you have not checked out Dreaming Tree, you really need to. They have fantastic paper crafts. But I'm going to show you at the end, or in the video as we go, I'll show you how to cut out a picture using this. So if you have a picture that you have printed out on photo paper, you can go ahead and use this little tip here to cut that out. I'm rambling. I'm just so excited to show you how to do this because once I figured it out, I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. Okay, so anyway, let's go ahead and save this. And like I said, I'm going to be using my Explore Air 2, and I have that machine selected right here. I'm going to click Make. For my cardstock, this back here, this is going to be cut out of silver glitter. So this is glitter cardstock. Then my other ones are, this one here is a glitter cardstock, but it doesn't need as much pressure because it's not as thick. And then the green and the red are actually going to be cut out of this cardstock that I got from 12 by 12 cardstock. It's called Encore. It cuts really well, but the settings for that I'm going to use, I'll use a heavy cardstock with less pressure. Okay, and then when we get to this part, I'll show you how to do that as well. But let's go ahead and get this cut out, and I will show you how to get it all put together. Okay, let's get our first piece cut. I've got my glitter cardstock on my mat, and I'm going to use my brayer to help it stick better. Okay, and then just flip it over to get your cardstock to release. Okay, so before we move on to the next piece of cardstock that I'm going to cut, I want to make sure that I point out, whenever you cut anything that has like texture to it, like a glitter cardstock, you always want to make sure you check your blade to make sure that there's no pieces stuck in there. So just push your little plunger right here. And I don't know if you can see all those little pieces that just fell out of there. You always want to make sure you clean that off, because anything that's stuck on your blade can affect your cuts for your other project, the rest of your project. Okay, so we'll just stick that back in there. And then we're going to keep going and cut the rest of our cardstock. Okay, for this part of the ornament, I'm going to make sure that I keep my little center discs here. Probably the bigger one I'm going to use. I'm going to show you why when we get to that part. Okay, so here is the little trick that I wanted to show you. On this right here, we're going to edit this. I have a piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. I'm just going to go ahead and move this down. Now I have the paper on my mat, so I'm going to put this, actually, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and cancel this so I can see this a little bit better. So on here I have my 8.5 by 11, and I'm going to put this right about the bottom of the 9 in the middle of the 4. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and hit continue. This is just a scrap piece of cardstock. I mean, we all have those colors that we probably don't think we're going to really use. So that's what this is. This is just a scrap piece of cardstock. You can use, obviously, whichever one you want. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut this on, let's just do a medium cardstock. Okay. All right, so I have my cardstock on my mat lined up on here. I'm going to go ahead, get my brayer and push this down. This is the trick that I learned from Dreaming Tree. So I'm going to go ahead and let this cut. Okay, now I do not want to unload this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this up. Doesn't matter if it curls. And I'm going to pull this circle out of here. Okay, and then I'm going to take my picture that I'm going to put in my ornament, and I'm going to slide this right up underneath here to where it looks good where my frame's going to be. Okay, and then I want to make sure that I push that down. If your mat is not sticky, you might want to tape this down so that it doesn't shift. Same with your cardstock. Now remember, you're not hitting that button yet. Okay. But you want to make sure that this has got a good connection on here. Okay, and now instead of hitting the exit button, the little one, the arrow that's flashing, we're going to hit that C so that it cuts again. Okay, and now we are going to unload it. Now you have the picture for your ornament. Might have to play with it a little bit here. And it's the correct size for your ornament. All right, I just thought that was a really cool tip. So let's keep going. Okay, we have all our pieces cut out. And I'm just going to go ahead and lay them out first to see how they look. I'm one of those crafters that change my mind at the last minute. Like I'll put different colors down thinking, oh yeah, this is going to look good. But then at the last minute I'm like, oh no, let's change it. But I think I'm pretty happy with the way this looks. So let's go ahead and start assembling. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to glue these two together. Now I will say that this piece of glitter cardstock is kind of flimsy. So if you wanted to put another piece on the back, you could. That's just totally up to you. You would just duplicate this and then make another one. Okay, but I'm just going to go ahead and go with it, what we have here. I'm going to use this one for this back piece here. And my red's going to go right on top. Okay. And now for the next layer, I'm going to do this green here, and I'm going to do the foam squares for this. So I'm going to flip this over, and like I said, I'm going to do doubles on these, but again, personal preference. Just want to do one, you can, or if you have the thicker foam squares, you can just do just the one. Okay, so I like to put a little dot of glue on top of each one of my squares. It just gives me a little extra time to reposition if I need to, if I stick it on and I don't like where it's at. And I'm just going to line this up. Okay. Now for my picture, I saved my backer that was inside of here, and I'm going to glue this to my picture just like this. And I'm going to just use this one here. Okay. And then this is going to get stuck down inside of here. So I'm going to put some glue right inside of here. And I'm just going to pop that right in there and just get it twisted to the way it looks straight. And then this one's going to go on top of here. If you wanted to add foam dots again, you could. I'm not going to. I'm just going to glue it on there. And then just line this one up. It's hard to do while showing you on the video and then also trying to get it straight this way. Alright. And then this part I'm going to glue on here. You could obviously cut that out of whatever color you like, but I just like the contrast between the green that's back there and then the green up here. Give it a chance to dry. And then my topper, I'm going to use a foam square for that too. I'm just going to use one, I think. These ornaments are so easy to make, guys. These would be really cute if you wanted to add a year on them too. You could do some HTV on here to add 2024, or you could put a name on this one. That would be really cute, but look how easy that is to come together. Okay, and then for your hangers, obviously you can do whatever colors you like. I'm not really sure what I want to do. I think I'll do the gray on this one. Or you could do the wire hanger. Maybe I'll do the wire hanger for that. Yeah, I think I want to do the baker's twine. I'm just going to go ahead and do a double loop like this. These would be cute as package gift tags too. Put the person's name in there. Obviously you want to give that a chance to glue or to dry on there. But there's that one. But you can play around with the colors. I did this one earlier. And this one I did my picture a little bit different. I laid the picture on top and then I glued the ring on top of that one. So obviously there's lots of different ways that you can customize these to your liking. This one I did, this is my grandson, but this one I did with red and black. But again, lots of different ways you guys can customize these. I would love to see these if you guys make them. If you like this week's project, please be sure to drop a comment down below. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm, helps push my videos out more, which lets me give you guys more content and more freebies. If you guys like this week's free SVG, you can find it in the freebie library. It is design number 224. And I do want to mention, because I have so many freebies now, I had to start a page 2 for my freebie library. So on page 1 of my freebie library, you will find designs 1 through 223. And there is a link there that says, click here for page 2. If you click on that, it's all from the designs on now. So 224 on to whatever we get to. But that's it, guys. Like I said, if you make it, please come on over to the Facebook group and show it off. I want to see what they look like. I love seeing you guys' projects that you make with my free SVGs. But that's it for today, guys. Until next time, have a wonderful day on purpose.